Okay, in this video today we are coming to look at expressions and statements. Yes, an expression is a combination of variables, operands, and operators. The variable, as you know from the previous video, is what stores values in a specific data type. The operands are the values that are being worked on, and then the operator is um, the symbol. Let's say if you are adding the two numbers, the operator there is the addition sign. And then if it's subtraction, the operator there will be the minus sign or the subtraction sign. So when you do something like have something like 2 plus 3, the operands are 2 and 3, and the operator there is the plus symbol or the addition symbol. Yes. So these values, the results of this for these operations are being stored inside the variable. Yes. So the variable will store the value for the results of that operation or the expressions. Okay. So operands are entities that operators act on. Okay. As I said, the operands are the numbers. Yes. So the operators will use these numbers or the figures they are trying to add to give you your results, and then you store it inside the variable, and then you output it. Yes. So you can have something like, for example, is something like x is equal to let me see, 2 plus 3. Okay, this is the expression, but it is not being stored anywhere for us to output it. So you have to bring the data type. Int, since you are working with numbers, you bring int, and then you bring the terminator. So we have int is equal to x. The integer is being equal to the integer x, or the variable x, being equal to 2 plus 3. So when we output it, I think you're expected to get the value for the operation. So C out, then x, then and so on. If you like, if you like, don't use the end lines. It will not change anything. The highlighted party. Then you run the codes. Then it adds it, and then the value being stored here is 5. So it will then output the 5 for you. Okay. So that's about the expression, the operators, the operands, and then the variable for storing its results and then outputting it. So this plus here is the operator. These 2 and 3 here are the operands. And then the x here is the variable that stores the result for the expression or the operation here. There are various types of expressions. We have constant expression, integral expression, bitwise, floating expression, logical, expression, relational expression, and then pointer expression. Okay, let me clear this question. Okay, with the integral expression, they store only integers, like what we did earlier, which is int x is equal to 2, 2 plus 3. Then terminate. This this only stores the operands here are all integers. So this type of expression is an integral expression that we are using over here. So with the floating points, we have the decimals. When you are coming to work with that one, you specify the data type as float, and you bring your decimal figures 0.454.65. So you save, and then let's run it and see. There's a problem. Okay, I haven't outputted it. So C out X, then the end line. If you like, can leave it to change anything. So the answer will come here, which is 6.19. Yes. So to give you a decimal figure, so these ones are called the floating point, or the float point expressions. Okay. So we have mixed also. Some that are mixed, you can mix the two together. Yes. Maybe an integer and then the float. You can mix the two together. Yes, so we can have something like this. So this mixed because you're having an integer and then a decimal point. A decimal point over here. Yes. So the result to give you 5.65. Yes. Which is at the bottom over here. So that is it for the for it. And we have conditional expressions also. Yes. Their outputs are being determined based on specific conditions. So a condition is being given, so that condition will determine what output it gives you. And then the relational expressions, they make use of um, this less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to symbols. Yes, to compare two sides of an equation. So yeah, in this case you are comparing something, so to confirm either it is true or not. So these ones mostly work with Boolean data types. Yes, so we are like x. Okay, let's see. It can be like int x is equal to 5, and then we can have something like int x is equal to 4. So you can have something like z being equal um okay yeah, being equal to x being less than or equal to y. Okay, so you can have something like this. Let's see. Um, okay, we are working with integers. Okay, expected. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's do it like this order. So C out. We have x is less than y over here. Then, yes, that's what it is. Okay. Okay. Think we'll get back to that side. So the relational expression is being used to compare these two figures. Yes, to see need to give you a boolean. Yes, to tell you true or false or one or zero, as it usually does. Okay. So so let's look. Okay. So now let's look at comments. What comments are in C++? Comments are lines of code. They are okay. They are also part of the code, but they are not being executed. They just help you with understanding whatever you've typed or whatever is okay. Let's say whatever is inside the code. Yes. So we have single line comments and then we have multiple line comments. So the single line comment, let's say I'm doing I'm trying to add two numbers. That is like x int is equal to x int x is equal to 2 plus 3. Then see out x. Let me just see it. So you see out your x. So what I'm doing here is addition of these two numbers. Maybe someone may see this and may not understand what I'm doing, so I have to bring a comment. So with a single line comment, you write, you type two slash, sorry, yes, you type two forward slash, then you add the whatever is going on. Um, as I'm adding to integers. Let me just say int. I'm adding to integers, but this code here will not run. There I am adding to int. So there I am adding two integers will not run together with the code. It's just to guide you. So you only get the output here, which is a 5. It just helps you to understand whatever is going on in the code. Yes. And the multi-line comments. So maybe I have another line of comments, like, sorry, forward slash, two forward slash. I am coding, and maybe typing the forward slash over and over. Maybe what if you're having about this line? Let me see. And to see like multiple line like this. You can just simply, instead of typing the forward slash over and over, you can just simply bring the forward slash and asterisk. You not bring this also, an asterisk for at the beginning. Automatically everything gets commented here, but we just want to comment after this point. Then at the end of the line, at the end of the line where you want to comment, you bring an asterisk and then the forward slash again. So you have a multiple line or multi-line comment in your code. You may be having like 10 comments, 10 lines or something. You don't have to be typing the slash over and over. So you can just use the multi-line, and then that's all. The indentation, I would like to talk about indentation. Indentation is what makes your code readable. It's like you are arranging uh, the codes in an order. Maybe you are doing some if commands or some complicated codes. Indenting it to help to arrange them in order. It's just like writing an essay and then putting it in paragraphs. That's how indentation is in C++. So mostly it works with if commands, yes, or conditional statements. Uh-huh. because you don't have to put the like what should happen in the code during an if command on one line should not be in block. It may run, but someone will not understand. So when you indent it or shift, it's like you're shifting it a bit like in a paragraph. The person knows that this one is about this if command and the rest. So this is what this if command will do. This is what this do while loop will also do and stuff. Makes it readable and more understandable. That's the purpose of the implementation. So a statement is a single instruction that performs an action. Yes, you have different um, types of statements. Statements are just meant to perform instructions based on the conditions or the command given to it. So with the selection statement, we have selection statement, we have iterative statement, we have um, we have expression statement, we have jump statement, declaration statement, and then compound statement. So with the selection statement, it talks about the conditions, some of the conditions. This include the if command, the if else, the if else if, nested ifs, and all of that. They all fall under the if else condition. And then you have switch cases. Switch uh, also as a selection statement. There are selections. There are selections because they work on specific selected values. Yes, they don't work kind of in a repetitive manner. With the iterative statement, they work in a recursive form. So instead of executing the code by yourself or typing the code over and over, you can just use an iterative statement to just iterate over the condition over and over. So in this one we have while loop. It's like loops, yes, while loops. We have do while, we have for loop, and maybe there's sound acknowledgement. And yes, that's for the iterative and this one. And then we have declarative statement, which we did earlier in some of the video. Just declare it looks like this. It's like the variables without the assignment, the its assignment. Yes, it's like the variable without it values. You just declare it, and then later on you assign the value to it. So and then we have jump statements. We have break, continue, go to. The break is to terminate an action. Yes, it to when it gets to that a certain point. Let's say you're counting from 1 to 10 and you put a break at 5. When it gets to 5, it will stop counting. With the continue will jump over the 5. So when it gets to 5, it will not count 5, but it will continue counting to 6. So it will count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, because it asked it to jump over it. Mhm. And then they go to use it to specify the exact place it should go to, the counting should go to. Maybe you started from one and want to continue with 10, with 7. You are counting from 1 to 10, you want to go directly to 7. So you use a go to specify directly where you want to go to. So you specify that, like, when you get to, or when you are when it is counting, it should jump and go to a specific value, continue from a specific value. Yes. Okay. So um, so the if condition, if you have something like this, maybe you are trying to check for the age of someone to see if the person is old enough to vote. So maybe you can also use a comment here. Mm, Maybe like voter validation, or voting age validation. So also, so with this one, you are going to get the age for the validation. So we have something like int, maybe age should be equal to 18. So you should be, the condition for you to vote in Ghana is that you should be 18 years or above. So you can write an if command to verify this the age of the person. So you have something like if, then open and close your parenthesis. If age age if age is um, greater than or equal to 18, and you bring your curly brackets open and close, then you should output you are eligible uh, to vote. So if only our age is greater than or equal to it. So actually, this is an example of the expression for comparing the two values. Yes. So actually, right now, if only this condition is true, then what do they call it? If the condition is true, the value that it will output at that place here at the highlighted point will be 1. The it sees it at 1, which means it is true. So since it is true, it is going to output it here. It's called a relational expression. Yes. So since it is not true, it will output this. Yes. So our age, it is now true that um Our voter here is 18 years and above. So it will allow the person to vote, or output gives an output that the person is eligible to vote. So yeah, maybe what if the person is 14 years and you run this code? It will not do anything because it did not add any other condition to it. What if the person is not greater, the person's age is not greater than or equal to 18, and you want to give a prompt? You've not given any prompt or what it should show, so it will not output anything actually. So to just be blank, there's no output to it. So you have something like, so you have to use the else. That's when the if else comes in. You have to use the else. If this doesn't happen, then this should happen. If the person is not eligible to vote, then tell the person this rather. So you can do else, then see out, see out you are not eligible to vote. Yes. So now let me clear. So now when you run this, the person is 14 years. So the age which is 14 here, it claims that okay, if you bring the 14 here, it means 14 is greater than or equal to 18, which is false. So this condition here will not be executed. For that matter, it has to find an alternative to give, and that alternative is being given inside the else. That alternative prompt is inside the else. So since it is a lie, since it is false or it's a lie that 14 years is greater than or equal to 18, it will now tell you that you are not eligible to vote. You are not. Okay. So if the 14 person is 40 years, now it will tell you you are eligible to vote. That means that you've met the criteria. And then the boolean value here, uh, um, okay, the boolean expression that will actually be here is 20, is true. The value that will be assigned to that part will be true. What if maybe you are validating something and then you have any other conditions, other conditions attached to it? Yes, maybe um, what example to give? Maybe if you have other instructions for it to validate how How will you do that? So maybe you are trying to work, try the try and see if someone is within the working force of a country. So we maintain our 18 years. So a workforce and workforce, yes. So okay, so if the person's age is greater than or equal to 18, you should tell the person that the person is eligible to work. That means it's constitutional for you to work. You can work, but at times, um, maybe the person should be on retirement by now. So maybe that age should be 60 years and above. So you come here and do if else if workforce is greater than or equal to 60. You should tell the person that you are supposed to be on retirement. Yes, so that's if it is greater than or equal to 60, to tell the person that the person is supposed to be on retirement. So what if the person doesn't meet these two conditions? Like the person is not within this. You should tell the person that else. Um, See out. You are not supposed to work. Um, Child labor is unconstitutional. So this is what you should tell the person. Yes, that the child labor is unconstitutional. So the person cannot work in that country. Okay, so let's see. The workforce is 18, but the person's age is also 18. Okay, so let's see what it will tell the person. So you are eligible to work. Okay, what if the person's age is 30? Mm, you are eligible to work because it falls within that category criteria. Now, I want to check if the person is supposed to be on retirement. If you are 60 years, you are tired, you have to go. So, I don't think I don't think such a person should be eligible to work. We run it over again. No. So what's wrong? What's wrong? So, so else if workforce is greater than six greater than or equal to 60. Okay, so it's still within this one. Mm-hmm. So let me see. Okay. And we should have been successful and this is not supposed to work. So we can make maybe years. Okay. That's for the else if um state that's for the else if statement. Okay. So to validate if the person is eligible to work or not. Okay. So now we have the switch also. Now with the switch, with the switch, you the switch you first declare your variable. So maybe something like um, maybe an integer. Then then age should be equal to 12. Yeah. You first declare your variable and assign a value to it. So with that, for you to use the switch cases, the switch, you need two keywords. You need switch, you need switch, and you need case. So, let's say switch. You start with the switch statement. Okay, let me just take you through step by step. Switch, open and close the parenthesis. Then your variable will come here. Switch age. Switch age. So, in what case should this switch the age, the value for the age, or output something in case of that, in case a condition is met. So in case maybe the age is maybe, let's say, 10. Yes, so case of 10 with a colon, then your statement should come. You can indent it to make it readable. So if it is 10, then you should output this. You now adolescent. Yes. So if in case the age here is 10, she tell the person that the person is now an adolescent. So we have 10 right here. So if we output it, let's see. You are now an adolescent. Yes. But okay, let's say we have another case also over here. What if the person is now 24 years, which means the person is out of their adolescence. So you have to bring that case 24. Yes, and then see out, then you are no more an adolescent. Yes. With this, okay, let's type this. Maybe the person's age is 24. You are no more an adolescent. So after every case, actually, you bring a break. You don't bring a break. At times, it may output the previous one and output the next one as well. So you bring a break. So you are no more an adolescent. So this is how a switch case work for it's like an if command but on a specific state. That's why it's called the selection statement, because it works on specific selected items. Yes. And then with the operators, we have different types of operators. We have arithmetic operators, assignment operators, conditional operators, relational operators, and logical operators. Yes. So we have arithmetic operators. They are used for arithmetic calculations. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, remainder, or the modulo, which is being uh, calculated using the percentage sign. So, and we have the logical ones, which are the ampersand, the double ampersand, double bars. Double ampersand represent and. That's the logical operator. And then double bar, double vertical bar represent or in the as a logical operator. And then the exclamation, it's um it represents not. Yeah. So it's gonna be like two exclamation equal to four. Means two is not equal to four. Yes. But if you bring two, okay, let's say four equal two equal to signs, and then you bring four again. I'm trying to say that four is equal to four. That's it. There's a difference between the two equal to signs and then one equal to sign. One equal to sign only represents it's an assignment operator. I use it to assign a value. Like this should be this, but the double is used for comparing. Yeah, comparing. Eh, it's used for comparing, like doing logical comparisons. So that's some of the operators that we have. We have the decrement and decrement operators also. The increment operator, we have two types: the prefix increment and then the postfix. If you say prefix, you mean, let's say increment means to add, so something like this. Maybe the variable that we declared 8 plus plus. Yes, this a postfix. Post, that's after. Post means after, pre means before. So this is how the post work. And then this one, sorry, this one is the prefix. That one is the postfix, and this one is the prefix. With the prefix, the increment comes before. They both increment, but the postfix, which is the first one, will increase the value after it gets it, after the numbers after it. But the prefix will increment the value from the values that are before it. So maybe in a for loop, and then you start from your initial point is 1. When you bring a prefix, it's going to, and then your, if you bring the prefix and then the age is 20, you are outputting, it will start counting from 1 and then it will increment it to like 1 plus 1, like that. So 1, it then goes to 2 up until it gets to 20. But with the post, it will start from 20, then it will add 1. That's what it will do. It will start from 20, then add 1 to it. Yes. And then the decrement too is the same thing. It's just the opposite. So let's say the value was to be 20 and it's decrementing, it will subtract 1 from it. And then if the value, maybe if it is a prefix decrement, it will start 20, 19, 18, like that until the limit you give to it. So that's all for today's work.